Let's get into it. Josh Campbell, thank you for the reporting, and bring in CNN legal analyst and civil rights attorney Areva Martin. She's with us, along with retired Los Angeles Police Sergeant Cheryl Dorsey. Welcome to you both. Areva, let me start with you, and I want to get to, also got to get in that Sergeant Dorsey is the author of the Confidence Chronicles, the greatest crime story never told. Again, thank you for being with us. Areva, let me start with you. I want to get to the emotion in just a moment, but first, just the sentence here. 15 years was the max, 7 years was the request from prosecutors, 16 months in prison with 8 months then in supervised release. What's your thought?
I think it's a miscarriage of justice. I agree with the family. The judge went out of her way, Victor, to talk about the fact that this was not an intentional act on the part of Kim Potter, but manslaughter charges already take into account that the conduct is not intentional. And the state of Minnesota has already set the sentencing for manslaughter to be at the maximum 15 years, as you said, but the presumptive sentence to be between 6 and 8 years. So this whole notion that this wasn't intentional really in some ways was a red herring, because no one ever said that this was an intentional act. And the state assumed that non-intentional but reckless acts like these acts, when you are convicted for manslaughter, that you would serve that presumptive time between 6 and 8 years. The judge also said that there would be no deterrent factor with respect to Kim Potter serving a lengthy jail time or jail sentence. But I think the judge got that wrong. Think about the other officers that could be impacted if this officer was forced to serve the sentence that we would expect to see for a manslaughter conviction, manslaughter 1 and 2. And I think the family is right. We keep seeing this unequal justice system. If you're a person of color, you are treated differently than non-people of color, particularly if you're African American. So the family's frustrated. I think this is a slap in the face to the family and to the African American community that has been demanding equity and equality in our justice system.
Sergeant Dorsey, I don't know that I've ever seen a judge cry, specifically during the sentencing portion. I mean, this judge, she had to wipe her nose, take a moment. It seemed as if she'd shortened her remarks and just ended it. Your reaction to what we saw in court today and the sentence?
All of it was very off-putting for me. I've never seen a judge shed tear and show so much empathy for a defendant. Everyone in that courtroom, her defense attorney, you understand, was advocating and empathizing for this former convicted police officer, Kim Potter. And even during his presentation, the defense referred to her as Officer Potter, as if to infer that somehow she still was in good standing with the police department and therefore deserved leniency. We heard them dirty up the victim and refer to him in ways that disparaged and besmirched his character. Listen, let's not forget how this all began, because Daunte Wright was driving a car with an air freshener. They found out he had a warrant. They knew who he was. They could have followed up later when he attempted to flee if that was a problem. There was no exigent circumstance. There was no need for her to use a taser. And then to try to get us to believe something that's impossible and inconceivable, that after 26 years, she doesn't know the difference between her gun and a taser. Her gun she touches every day she works when she puts on that uniform. It's all off, it's all problematic, and justice was not served in the case of the murder of Daunte Wright.
Areva, you mentioned the parents. We talked about how dissatisfied they are with this sentence. I want you to listen here to Katie Bryant. This is Daunte Wright's mother.
This is the problem with our justice system today. White women tears trumps.
Wow.
Trumps justice. And I thought my white women tears would be good enough because they're true and genuine. But when they're coerced, coached, and taught by the defense attorney, I guess we didn't have a win in this at all.
White women tears trump justice, and I thought my white women tears would be enough. When you heard that, you thought what?
Yeah, you can't get away from race, Victor, when you talk about these cases. The cases, even though this isn't Ahmaud Arbery's federal civil rights case where the defendant was on trial because of racial animus, race is such a part of all of these high profile cases. And what mom is talking about, or Dante's mom is talking about, is the history in this country, the history of white women being able to use what some call destructive tears to gain favor, to curry favor, to gain some kind of advantage, to exercise their privilege. And that's what this mom is saying, is that this white woman, this white officer, got a sentence that does not reflect what others, particularly people of color in similar situations, would get, or at least have gotten historically. And she's asking, when does it stop? When does it end? When do we have a justice system that honors everyone and not just one demographic?
All right, Areva Martin, Sergeant Dorsey, thank you so much.